Hello everyone. The Versys X-300 will go anywhere, sort of. We'll cover that topic in this video. The video is going to be rather long because I started watching some of the footage and I loved it. So I didn't cut much out and I won't talk through the whole thing, but we'll have some commentary as we go along and show you some footage of some of the terrain and territory we covered, and just walk you through how it did. The dude and I took the weekend to go out into the West Deserts of Utah because he had fall break and a couple days off of school, and we bought him a new KLX 140 to ride. So he wanted to get out and break that thing in and test it out, and he did really pretty well. We had some crazy windy weather while we were out there, but you got to take the opportunity when you can and go out and ride because the weather's not always going to cooperate. So we just dealt with it and gritted our teeth and had the sand grind up in there, and it was all good. There's a lot of other people out there, but they were hunkered down in their trailers, as you'll see on some of these videos. The area we went and rode is called Knolls, K-N-O-L-L-S, and it's a very interesting place. It's got all kinds of terrain. You've got salt flats, you've got sand dunes, there's hill climbs, rocky stuff. There's just everything you could imagine out there. So it's a really good area to do some running around. And as you can see here on the sand, the Versys did better than I thought it would, honestly. With the tires are mostly street oriented, and if I was going really fast, I imagine I would have had a problem. But just putting along with the kid, he doesn't ride that fast, so riding with him is fine. If I was riding with a bunch of guys on 450s and things, I'm sure I would probably die. Seems like the front tire could really use some knobs, so when you turn or hit a lip on the sand, it won't wash out. That tire could get some bite on that. But I didn't have any real problems, just not a ton of traction, but it really did okay. I could ride out there all day just like this, but eventually I'll upgrade those tires and get some that are a little more off-road oriented. You know what's funny, when I get out riding in this stuff and having new experiences, I start obsessing about other motorcycles and figuring out what the perfect motorcycle would be. And I got home this night after our ride and started looking at the classified ads and all the manufacturers' websites and trying to figure out what would be the perfect motorcycle. And there's some neat ones out there, like the KTM 690 would be pretty good in terms of it's got everything I would want. Other than one thing, it's got fuel injection and electric start. It's super expensive. I'm not sure I'd be willing to pay 10 grand for a dual sport bike. But one thing I wish that they made was something with a twin cylinder. I don't know if you've seen that Yamaha T7 concept bike that's come out. They put the FZ07's engine in it and have the long travel suspension and the dirt tires and the plastics like you'd find on a dirt bike. That's what's interesting to me. That's something I would really enjoy. I know a twin motor would make it heavier, but I'll take the heft. I just want the smooth operation of a twin and not just have a big old thumper. I know people out there love those thumpers, but it's just not what I'm looking for. As I look at all these motorcycles, I just don't, there's nothing that I get excited about in the dirt bike or dual sport world. And I guess that's why I ended up with the Versys. there are plenty of street bikes out there that I would buy in a heartbeat, including some of the big adventure bikes, probably especially the big adventure bikes. But I'm not sure with the KTM 1290 or Africa Twin. I'm not sure I want to load that in the trailer and haul that out in the desert and ride with the dude. So anyway, that night I was up till 2 a.m. just obsessing about stuff, and sometimes it drives me crazy, but if I could design my own platform and motorcycle, it'd be a pretty sweet ride. This area was some of the rougher territory I went over probably, and after I went down a few of these hills, I finally decided to pull the fuses for the ABS system. And that's because when I go down these hills, the brakes wouldn't grab, and I would just keep rolling and sometimes get moving along faster than I would like or that I was comfortable with. So finally yanked out the fuses. I knew that was an option to do it, and it worked. It allowed my wheels to stop when I wanted them to stop and drag the back tire when I needed it to drag. The problem was, or something that bugged me about it, was the ABS light stayed on, and I didn't like that, and the check engine light also came on. So I fiddled around with it for a little while and experimented with it, and after we were done riding on some of the rocky hills, I put the fuses back in, and the check engine light has stayed on. So I don't know what the cause of that is or what the solution is. I've got to look into it. I'm sure the engine's fine. I don't know if it just needs to be reset, but that light's still on today, so maybe I'll have to call Kawasaki and figure out what the deal is with that. But it bugs me. I wish they would just have put a ABS on-off switch on there for you, so the system would do what you wanted it to do. Of course, I don't think Kawasaki wanted people riding the kind of territory I'm riding in, but you know what? Give me some options and I'll ride where I want to ride. It was on one of these hills right here that I got a new ding in the header pipe on the underneath side of my engine. And I do have a T-Rex skid plate that's here in my garage. I haven't had time to install it yet. But the place I got the ding, the engine guard wouldn't have helped anyway. And I think I've come up with a solution to help protect that pipe, and I'll show you that at some point when I get that put on and get the engine guard installed. But that also got me thinking along the lines of this dual sport bike with a twin cylinder that's light and smooth. You know, I bought this Versys brand new, and over time I'm going to beat it up a little bit, and it's already lost a lot of its value. If I tried to resell it, I'd lose my butt on it. So started thinking, what if I just strip this sucker down, put engine guards and skid plates, and maybe even reroute the exhaust header pipes, and just turn this thing into a sweet dual sport bike, and it could be something serious that has some good power and speed and can also do well on the road. I think it'd be way better than your WR250R or your CRF 250L. I just am not super interested in those because of the lack of power. But I think I could come up with something pretty sweet, make it kind of a custom motorcycle, and then you guys will want to buy one. Anyway, this is a great bike. I really love it. It's not exactly what I want, but considering what's out there, I'm really happy with it. I'll continue to mess around with it and see what we come up with. That's all for now. There's plenty of video to watch from here if you wanted to see some of the other terrain we were riding and territories we were riding. But we'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.
Come on, crew, I'm on a street bike in this stuff. You love it. jumped it, you saved it though. Pick it up. Oh, pick it up. Be a man. Rub some dirt in it. Alright, I'm coming, just hold it. Look at that. You get into like a sand hill or an ant hill or something. Good job.
Take me out of here.
Well, you, like I said, dude, you just need to toughen up because this is dirt biking. If you get upset about every little thing, you're never going to have fun. You just got to learn how to ride it. Oh, there you go.